Welcome to the Colonel Report. Today on the Colonel Report, I am talking to Sarah Mitchell. Hello, Sarah. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Matthew. Thank you for having me.
Mhm. Sarah is a sophomore outside hitter from Berea, Kentucky. She was a 4-year player at Madison Southern High School, helped her team to a 28-5 record and a district championship as a senior, and holds all 5 kill records in school history. As a sophomore, she has played in every game this season, and you have 95 sets played, 270 kills. I know last year was a little bit shorter for you because you had an injury, so I know
Mhm.
this year must be a little bit more exciting to be able to contribute more and be able to play in every game so far this year.
Yeah, this season's been a lot of fun, and it's a lot better this year now that COVID has come.
Mm.
COVID's still relevant, but we have opened up and played more preseason games, tournaments, all sorts of stuff. So we've doubled the amount of matches, or even tripled it that we would have played last year. And yeah, last year I had a season-ending injury about halfway through. So with already playing a shortened number of games and then cut in half again is what I got. So.
Yeah. I must imagine that it's nice to be able to play in front of people again as well too, is along with all the other games.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, playing in a gym that doesn't have many people, the energy's kind of dead. There's not a lot of cheering going on. So it's key that your team knows how to bring the energy and bring the cheering and all that when fans are not in the stands.
So before we talk about volleyball, I wanted to just do some rapid fire, just get to know you questions
Okay.
outside of being a volleyball player. So first off, do you have a favorite local restaurant here in Richmond, or
Ooh, that's tough. I would have to say Brady's. It's sushi and hibachi. I
okay?
love Asian food and I love sushi. So if I can go to one place and get both, that's it for
Oh,
me.
nothing wrong with that.
Mhm.
Do you have a favorite restaurant, like national chain restaurant? Just your favorite?
Oh, I'd have to say Texas Roadhouse. Um, you know,
Uh,
things like that. Anything where I can get a steak or a good burger.
Nothing wrong with that.
Mhm.
So your plan is to major in environmental health sciences.
Mhm.
What are you hoping to? What kind of path are you hoping to land for yourself with that sort of degree?
So, environmental health, it's about the study of how your environment is affecting your health. So, most people spend a lot of time in the workplace, for example.
Hmm.
So, a major or a pathway like a career for that, like industrial hygienists, they make sure that the workplace is clean, safe. There's no risks or hazards for anyone working there because you spend most of your time at work. So, industrial hygienist is one thing I've really been thinking about.
Okay.
Um, and I love the field. There's a lot of things with regulation and health, and I love it.
That definitely sounds like a interesting career path, and I mean, you'd be benefiting a lot of people by going into something like that.
Absolutely.
Um, so do you have a favorite streaming platform? Netflix, Hulu, something like that?
I hate to say it, but I don't watch TV shows very often. I don't watch a lot of TV. I usually go for movies, so Netflix is probably my go-to. Um, I like listening to like documentaries, things like that. So I feel like Hulu's got a lot of documentaries. So it'll be between Netflix and Hulu, but I'll probably pick Netflix.
What's the most recent thing that you watched, whether it be a movie or a documentary?
The most recent thing I watched was it's called Ready Player One. It's a
Okay, yeah, I've seen
movie.
that. Yeah,
You've
it's
seen
really
it? Yeah.
yeah,
I really like action, kinda like that. Um, Not really realistic, but I really like
I
things
have a
to
lot of '80s nostalgia and
Mhm.
'90s and everything like that.
Yes,
So
yes. Or even Mortal Kombat, that's another
yeah,
one I've seen recently. Yes.
okay,
I just kinda pick and choose. I like a little bit of everything.
okay. So for my last rapid fire question, is there an album or song that you listen to get you hyped up, ready to play, or just something that a routine that you might go through to help you get ready to play?
Mm. We do some routines as a team. I mean, we have a huge speaker, we get pumped up, get going in the locker room. Um, I'll have to pick Waka Flocka because like upbeat
Yeah.
rap hip hop music. For my dogs, that's one of the good ones. I really like that because it talks about you're doing things for your dogs, like doing things for your team. So,
Wow.
and it kind of gets me going. I really like that one.
Okay. So moving on to volleyball, when did you start playing volleyball?
I started playing volleyball in seventh grade, middle school. It was just middle school tryouts. I wasn't playing club or anything like that. So that was when I tried out. My mom is the one that convinced me to try out.
So was there a moment or a point growing up where you knew that volleyball was something that you wanted to continue and try to make something of it?
Yeah, that was actually something really tough for me because all my life I had been soccer, 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 soccer. That's all I played. Played soccer. I ran track. I played softball a little bit. I played a little bit of everything other than
Mhm.
basketball. Even though I'm tall, probably should have done that. But, but I love soccer so much. I've been playing it since I was 4, and it came to freshman, sophomore year, and I was realizing like I needed to make a decision. Like, what am I going to do? And I already played club soccer all of my life, and I still, up until this point, had not played club volleyball. And I
Mhm.
knew if volleyball was what I wanted to do, I needed to go play club. And I waited another year. I pushed it back. I didn't want to make the decision. I just wanted to keep playing soccer. And so junior year, I finally decided that I'm gonna go volleyball. Um, Played club with Lexington United. That was really my first club season. Was my 17th year. Very late, very very late. And so I just couldn't make a decision. I love soccer so much. It's been something I was doing since I was so young, and I just couldn't let it go.
Okay. Well, I think it seems like you made the right decision,
Mhm.
it seems,
Absolutely.
you know. So last year you only played 8 games due to an injury. Was
Hmm.
there anything you did to not only get better physically in the off season, but was there also something you did to maybe try to get better in the off season as well?
So during that time, definitely, still working out with the team, doing all that sorts of stuff. But in more of the off season, we still play beach volleyball. And so as a player, I needed to learn like what our coach called finesse. And that was being smart, like mentally, like shots and hitting this spot rather than just wanting to go up and hit the ball as hard as you can.
Uh,
And so in beach, I learned so much because in the sand, you can't move. You're not going to jump up and hit the ball straight down like you are in indoor. So you had to learn how to be a smart player. And that I think has helped me the most. And because you don't need to hit the ball as hard as you can, as long
yeah,
as you put it in a good spot and you know,
yeah.
that's how you score points, a point's a point. So that's
It's
something that really carried over into this season.
Yeah, because I imagine it's you need to know how hard to hit a ball because sometimes you might overhit it and then just knock it out of bounds and end up causing your team a point or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
And my next question was going to be is I'm guessing you would say that beach volleyball is much harder than gym volleyball.
Yes, it's very difficult to move. You're not jumping and you're not running. So when you shank a ball, like it's very hard to go get, or you
Uh,
won't get there.
so this year was EKU's first year in the ASUN conferences.
Mhm. Yes.
And so did the coaches do anything different to prepare for playing in a new conference for or new opponents or any extent like that?
I would say in preseason they definitely pushed us because ASUN's a little bit bigger of a conference. There's tougher competition. And
Mhm,
so preseason was a really important time for us because we needed to prepare for what was coming ahead of us. Very different conference play. Like they're
mhm,
more about other parts of volleyball and that there's things that they do that the OVC did better or so and so. So we had to adjust to that. But one thing we really wanted to do was to come into this conference and surprise people. And I really think that we've done that this year.
okay. How did you and your teammates feel about being in a new conference after playing in the Ohio Valley last year?
At first, we were little like thinking like, oh, how is this going to go? Whatever. But we definitely got excited in the end. We knew how good of a team we could be, and we knew what the potential we had, and that we would match up with these teams really well, and that we were actually excited for the move. A lot of traveling, which you know
It's nice to see new places, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
it's really nice. I mean, we just went to Jacksonville. I mean, I've never been to Southern Mississippi before. You know, we could potentially go to Fort Myers for the ASUN
That's what
tournament, which we hope to make this year. So, yeah, it's a big opportunity, and we like it. We love it. It's exciting.
So last year, almost every college or pro organization played with little to no fan support. I know I'd touched on it before, but how did it feel? How does it feel to play in front of fans, not just at home but everywhere now?
Oh, it's definitely so much better than it was. I mean, like I said in the beginning, like the energy is so dead, and sometimes you just look up and there's no one there, and all you can hear is it's dead silent. And so sometimes you need energy to get pumped up, and sometimes cheering, like when someone cheers for your kill or something like that gets you going. So that was one thing that was different that we, especially when we go to some places, it's a lot louder. There's more people, and it's an atmosphere that you want to play in. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that. I just because as an avid sports fan, just watching sports in general where there was no fans, it's been one of the weirdest things I'd ever seen. It just felt like I was watching a scrimmage or something like
Yeah.
that. So lastly, I know volleyball can create some crazy sequences going back and
Mhm.
forth. Do you have a favorite sequence during a game this year off the top of your head that, just going back and forth with an opponent?
Just that I remember over this weekend, just because it's fresh in my mind still. Um, we were playing North Florida. We did take a set off of them. Um, just it's the scramble plays that get back over the net that really get you riled up because the other team may think the ball's dead and that the ball had already hit the ground. And then someone on your team just makes some crazy play and gets it back over, and you still keep going and keep going. And then someone makes a great dig off the great swing that just came back over. And those are the kind of plays like you can see your teammates digging in and grinding for these balls. And like you're going to do the same because you want to be in that situation with them. So you really work together as a team, and we ended up with the point. And so points like that are so well earned and deserved, those really go a long way. And it's a game changer. It changes the energy. I mean, you now have this fire in you after a play like that, a long rally, and you just want to keep going. So yeah, things like that are really big game changers, and they change the momentum and the energy of the game. And they're a big deal.
Okay. Well, Sarah, I do appreciate your time and allowing me to talk to you and get to know you a little bit. I
Mhm.
wish you and the Lady Colonels nothing but the best of luck and
Thank you.
health the rest of the season. And that's all I have for you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem at all. You have a nice day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Well, everyone, that will do it for the second episode of the Colonel Report. Thank you for watching and look for my next podcast within the next week or so. And go Colonels.